Hello, everyone. It says I'm live, so hopefully I am, and you can hear and see me properly. Please use the chat to just say hi if you want to, but of course, there is no pressure. For those of you that have joined for the first time, my name is Lisa Jane, and I'm a healer in Cape Town. And I come to you from my healing room, where, of course, during lockdown, lots of things have been happening, but it is one of my most special places in the world. And the energy here is really beautiful. So I hope to be able to share some of that energy with you as soon as I start talking. And for those of you who have listened to me ramble over and over again, you'll know that everything is energy and that my work is such that I align to the highest good and healing of all. So that is my intention always with my work. Hello, Roxanne. Lovely to have you. And that I offer everything in that sense, in that way. So to start off with, I'd like us all just to take a deep breath, because connecting with the breath is very important, right, during this time. And just to acknowledge whoever is here in love and gratitude and unity, and that we hold everyone here in the highest good, and we respect and support one another. This series is my live series, which hello, Julie. Welcome, Julie, from London. It's so special to have you here. This teaching series, Teachings from the White Rose, was a symbol. The white rose was a symbol that was given to me a couple of months ago. And I was given a huge nudge from Spirit to come and teach. And so this is my form of teaching at present. I've always been quite reluctant because there's always something to learn, right? And I don't like to say I'm the guru, which I'm not. So I share what I know at this point in time, and it's always changing, and I'm always learning and growing. But the nudge was very clear and strong that I should just speak and share, and well, here I am. So let's just have a look at the chat. Celeste, hello, Celeste. Julie, the two of you together again. Hello, Elizabeth, welcome. Hello, Clara, welcome. And Maya. People from all over the world. That's so special to me, actually. And this, I'd really like this community to be exactly that, community of love, community of support. And I call it the community of the White Rose. So you're welcome to just join and listen. So the first thing, thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate you listening to me. The first thing I wanted to offer you before I start talking about what I was guided to share today is that the energy is very buoyant, right? And so while I was meditating before I joined in, my guides were like, please just share this. So I'm going to share that. Take what resonates, drop what doesn't. But because we are in the midst, and I spoke about this on Friday in my meditation, of the foundations, the energetic foundations of the planet changing, and we're now getting to the really deep stuff, is that the lower frequencies immediately surrounding Earth are getting very dense and sticky and icky, okay? And those of you that have listened to me before will also know I use symbolism to put across very complex subjects because my brain can't be expected to know them all. But the guidance comes in symbolism, and I share that. Thank you. I'm so glad it's contagious. I'm not going to get very far if I keep reading your lovely chats, right? But anyway, where was I? Oh, yes. So what the guidance was, and this is where we get to choose, and people don't like being told they get to choose, right? Is much in the same way, you know, those markers you get with a sea where it shows you the depth, or in a swimming pool. So when, you know, the water evaporates or the waves come in and out, you kind of can see what depth it's at. And you get various levels, and you've got a buoy perhaps that floats up and down. Well, the guidance was clear, is that each morning or each day, any moment actually, you need to check in which level you're moving in, because there's various matrices at play. We always want to be in the highest frequency one, the one that is peaceful, unifying, loving. But because there's a lot of stuff going on and there's a lot of activity in these lower layers, you might find yourself sucked down and connected into those. So what is happening is that at any moment we're choosing which matrices to be connected in. And it is a choice. So the visual of just simply waking up or sitting in your car, wherever you are, closing your eyes and just really tuning in and saying, where am I? Because you might find that you go into a conversation with someone and you come out and you're deep down into that stuff, either a conspiracy theory or frustration. Or I know in South Africa here, there's a lot of stuff going on around the restaurant industry and the hashtag job saves lives, right? Which is necessary, but you might find yourself pulled into that and then you can't engage at a higher level. So the guidance was just use the simple technique, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and then just gauge where you're at and visually imagine yourself moving up to a position or a frequency where you feel you want to reside at. So that was my quick, tell them this, please. Quick guidance as to that. Very quick, easy. A lot of these energy techniques are, right? So all of these people here, I welcome you all. Thank you. It's lovely to have you. What is it that I want to talk today? Well, the guidance was clear, and it's been coming up a couple of days, is this whole energetic cycle of giving and receiving, especially when it comes to interacting with others and interacting with those close to you. My clients and those I talk to will know that I talk about this often. Is that in order to be in energetic balance and harmony, we need to be in a cycle, which is a natural cycle, a natural energetic cycle of giving but receiving. And this is especially for those givers out there, who I know are probably all who are listening, because the takers are not listening and they should be. But this is for all of those givers, is that in order to maintain your energy levels that you can keep giving, you need to be able to receive too. Now, a lot of people find receiving quite difficult. Not only those who are only givers, but on the other side of the spectrum, the takers, interestingly enough, also have a problem receiving, but they have a problem receiving love. Now, this might sound strange when I start talking about it, but think about it. In an energy dynamic of two people interacting, and let's say we have a codependent type relationship where the one is always demanding of the other. The one is always demanding of the other. And that person who's wanting to give the love is either told that they are not doing it right, or they should be doing it another way, or they haven't been given enough attention. And all they're trying to do is to send the love. And this taker is actually not able to receive, right? They are creating so much friction and tension in their field that they can't see. Their eyes are closed to the love that is just there if they just open their hearts and receive. Yes, exactly. The blessing. That's true, Elizabeth. So I was walking in the forest and suddenly I was like, oh my God, but this is so simple. Why do people not get it? If we are in a relationship, instead of reaching out and kind of labeling, or you should be doing, or if we could just open our hearts and say, actually, all I want to do is receive love from you, and I will give you love back. Now, I know we're complicated humans, right? And we have words and we have our mind going, but on an energy level, the natural cycle of the earth is a giving and receiving. It's a constant flow. And energetically, we have a lot of frictional energy that we're trying to shift, a lot of really sharp corners, triangles, squares, all of those things. But we're moving to a place, and I've spoken about this before, where we will essentially hold what I call the spiritual heart, which is just one field, which is circular, which will encompass us all. And with each person moving to that space as encompassing spiritual hearts, we will connect together in a very non-invasive, a very non-confrontational, a very accepting way. Drama triangles. Thank you, Celeste. Exactly that. Now, triangle is not a bad sacred geometry symbol, right? The tetrahedron and the three-dimensional century is a very powerful symbol, but we are moving from the triangle dynamic, victim, rescuer, persecutor, to a circle dynamic of giving and receiving, balanced giving and receiving. Because that receiving, and especially when there's been drama in a relationship, let's say you're battling to forgive someone, or something they did has triggered within you an angry response. And they come in and they say, I'm sorry, I made a mistake, forgive me. And you're like, no, how can I forgive you? This is da, 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 da. And all they're coming at you with is just saying, forgive me and love me. And all this antagonizing person needs to do is just immediately drop and let go of that conflict, of that frictional energy, and just allow this person to come in and offer love. Isn't that easy? Energetically, it's so easy. It's so simple. This giving and receiving. And then again, let's look at the overgivers, right? Who say, no, 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 I can't take that. Not even a compliment. Overgivers generally can't even take a compliment. No, 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 I don't deserve that. No, no, I could have done better. No, I could have done more. No. What you're doing then is you're putting up an energetic barrier. And of course you want to do more, please. But that disallowing of that energy, which might just be a thank you, which might just be, can I bring you a cup of tea, which might just be, here's some flowers, or a compliment, is actually the way you're going to allow the energy to come back into your field so that your giving is balanced by an equal receiving. And in that, we are changing the energy dynamic, and we're making it much easier, much simpler, letting go. Much, because what I'm trying to get to, right, and I hope I can, because sometimes words can't express it, but I can feel it at the moment, and I'm hoping you can feel it, that it's actually just that person's choice to say, within a flash, within a flick of your finger, you could just say, why am I doing this? Why am I engaging in this battle? Because you don't ever control anyone else. You can't control the way they behave, the way they act. Yes, if someone's being abusive to you, step out of the way, move out of the way very quickly, put up your boundaries. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a relationship where someone wants to give you love, but you're finding all of the hot spots where they're either irritating you or pressing your buttons or don't do something you want. Instead of just saying, maybe if I just dropped all that and I let that love come in, what would it do to this? What would it do? I love it when all my people, I don't know which side you see, I point on the wrong side, but I love it when all my people have a conversation with each other. That's the community, right? You're here to support each other. But what would it do if you just dropped all that from the human perspective, dare I say egoic perspective, right? Dare I go third dimensional perspective, dare I say it? Drop it all. Soften a bit. Allow that person to just offer you love and you just love back. People try too hard to change each other. People judge one another too much. No one person, unless they're really spiritually majorly aware, can completely understand where another person is coming from. So how can you firstly judge them, since you don't know their complete story? And secondly, how can you not accept that love freely when it's being offered to you? Because even if it starts out as a small circle of giving and receiving, that creates a flow that builds and builds and becomes stronger and becomes easier and becomes more free-flowing, right? Instead of the one person attacking and saying, you should do this, you didn't do that, you must do that. And this poor person is standing over here thinking, what the hell? I just want to love you. I just want to love you, darling. Let them. Safe and body. Yeah. I hear you completely about that. You can read the comment for those people. It is difficult to receive, right? I know I've experienced that myself with my upbringing and everything else. But it is the vulnerability that if you allow it, and of course, trust your intuition here, right? You're not just going to let anybody in. I'm not talking about that either. But I'm talking that in a relationship where there's too much forcing out and trying to change, and not enough of the letting in of the gentleness of the flow of love. Yeah, exactly, Julie. It's true. But it's in receiving that we are healed, actually. And again, yes, within a safe environment. I'm not talking about working with someone who's abusive to you, but often that person can be in the safest, most loving relationship and are too busy attacking or condemning the other person, perhaps because they're scared of receiving. But in doing that, they're not allowing that flow to actually come in, which is the natural flow and the natural cycle. I am blessed that in my current relationship, we have that. And touch wood, there's not a lot of friction because, inverted commas, the balance of power is equal. Yes. And that's another thing, right? We could describe this giving and receiving as a power struggle. One of you wants to be right. One of you wants to be heard, listened to. What if you just backed off a little bit and just let it come through? And say, actually, I don't need to battle you for power. There is no power struggle. In unity, in compassion, in connection, there should be no power struggle. Because if we can just open up to that receiving and giving, that cycle will take us to where we need to go. We will be able to move with it and flow with it, and things will naturally be released. But for me, there was a very powerful symbol when I was walking in the forest of how simple, snap of the finger simple, it can be to just let go and just say, actually, you know what? I'm going to meet you in this moment. And that we've spoken about before, right? Mindfulness. Mindfulness is just not being present. Mindfulness in a relationship is actually saying, right now, I'm going to meet you as if I have never met you before. I'm going to let go of the irritations, the frustrations. I'm going to let go of all of the things I've created in my mind of when you did this or when you didn't do that. And I'm going to bring all of my energetic potential, because that's all we're working with. We just want all our energy in the channel at any point in time. And being present and mindful, we do that. It's like a magnet. We suck it all in. So I challenge you then. Here's a little challenge. Homework, weekly homework. To use the concept of mindfulness in meeting your partner. And if you don't have a partner, your best friend or your mother or father who irritates the hell out of you, whoever it is. Maybe find a relationship where there's a bit of friction. And just when you're with that person or when you're engaging, say to yourself, I'm going to be so present that I'm going to imagine that I've met this person for the very first time. And so any irritation, any thought, any you should have drops. It immediately drops out of your field. And you will be amazed at the power that is generated in your heart center when you become that mindfully present. Okay, now I'm looking at the chat here because I don't have my glasses on. Yeah, exactly, being in the now. It's that energy vortex we've spoken about, right? Everything is about that. Energetically, what we're trying to do, and you can label as spiritually, you can label it as, awakening, you can give any number of labels to it. But we are just a channel of energy. And our aim then is to bring as much of our energetic potential, our life force into this vessel, to radiate that out for others to experience. And this heart center is the place at which that is anchored and expressed. It's our satellite dish. It's what we need to be opened in order to connect to our highest wisdom. It receives here, and then our higher mind interprets it. So we want to work on the center. Yes, I'm sorry, I'm reading Celeste. It is fun to do it together. But it is all about you. Because if you can, and again, challenge homework to try this. If you can really work with this energetically, and try it, because it will work, that you might need to take a few deep breaths beforehand. You might need to center yourself in whatever way you do. But if you can mindfully provide your presence to someone, opening this space, because when we're present, it also helps open this space, and just meet them there, you will be amazed at, first of all, what they feel, because they might not even do those irritating things. Because why? You're creating an image in your mind's eye that they are new to you. You're not holding those frequencies. They're not feeling them being reflected back at them. So the energy exchange is completely different. And in that, you are giving them the biggest gift of more of your presence than you might normally give to them. And so going back to the letting go, I'm not saying don't heal or seek out healers or do your work. Absolutely, because we are all works in process. But what I am saying is feel the way in which you could almost like a switch, let go of something, even if you're scared. As Julie says, people are. And I've spoken about that in a previous video about what is compassion, and we can't hold it. I can't remember what the title was, but those of you that have listened to it, about being not safe here, right? Being abandoned. Even if that's how you start, just give that interaction a chance by being presently mindful and just simply allowing the flow of energy to move between the two of you. And it might not just be two of you, it might be a group, right? Because there was there's this cycle of life, really. And I think Alex Gray, the beautiful visual artist, has also mentioned it, that you come into this world connected, right? But immediately become disconnected and abandoned. Stage 2. And then stage 3 is this like heart awakening, which most of the time is raw, right? A lot of people are feeling this stretched at the moment, a lot of emotions, a lot of sadness. But from that, which is the opening of the energy center, comes the 4th stage of feeling connected again. And we are all returning to that, a state of feeling connected with each other and connected to source, God, creator, life force, whatever you want to call it. So focusing on the breath, on being present, on really thinking, actually, what can I drop immediately? Because it is our choice. It is our responsibility. People don't like to hear that, but it is. And it is up to each and every one of us to do this work so that vibrationally we change, we affect the world around us, and so others change too. Because we are each part of the whole. And in healing the individual component, we heal the collective. It doesn't have to begin with giving. Yes, exactly. It doesn't have to begin with giving. And that's why when I was walking in the forest, the big thing was, why are people struggle to receive? And like Julie says, yes, it is about feeling unsafe. But it is also about holding or tapping into a matrix of energy of unforgiveness or of resentment or whatever it is. And you can disconnect from that. You can immediately forgive someone. because it's yourself that you're freeing. And if we do look at it purely as a holographic universe, and at the moment there are many matrices at play, there are many timeline potentials being showed ahead of us, lots of opportunities, beautiful opportunities, and you want to take advantage of those, right? So let it happen. Don't fight it. Really think of who you are as a spiritual, energetic being. Work on that aspect of yourself by doing breathing, by doing meditating, by being silent, and caring for oneself. Again, message loud and clear from last year's self-care. And contemplate your own understanding of giving and receiving. Like I said, I share what comes through in the best way I can. And it's for you to take this learning or take this information and move away with it and see what comes up for you. But if I can leave you with something, because that feels like my lesson for today, words. If I can leave you with something, it's this circle. It's the cycle of life. It's the natural flow of giving and receiving, that if we can get it right, there is no friction. There's no breaks. It's continuous. It's easy. It's safe. It's connected. And whilst we might feel we're in an unsafe world right now, work with whatever it is you need to feel safe within yourself and to feel safe within the relationship. But that might be all about starting to receive. And if it's even with a compliment from someone, even if your little brain is saying, oh my God, my hair really doesn't look nice. No, it's so messy today. No, my hair's so messy today. No, don't. Just open up your heart, even if this is going, and say, thank you. Thank you. You look beautiful today. Thank you. May I make you a cup of tea? Yes, please. Yes, exactly. So I know you've all got it in your own way, and you're working with your own stuff. But just allow yourself to look at the aspects where you need to receive more. And if you're too scared, give it a try. Where the balance of power is out of whack and the giving and receiving is not right, we also want to correct that, right? So that the energy balance begins to harmonize, begins to feel comfortable, begins to feel simple and light. And don't forget, my guys, don't forget that piece of visual guidance I gave at the beginning, because a lot is happening at the lower layers. And there are lighter structures that have been created as grids around the earth that you can connect into without being ungrounded, connect into Mother Earth and then to these. But just visually scan your field. Am I sinking into the deeper, heavier stuff? Do I need to move up a bit? And it can just be a visual. You can see yourself lifting up, right? Like a buoy in a sea, like take me up. And just see yourself lifting up. Take a deep breath and just lift up. Thank you. I think that's about all I needed to say. Hopefully I got my message across. If not, you felt the energy. And I thank you for the giving and receiving, because that's also beautiful, right? You're all there listening, and I'm very grateful to that. So if there's any questions after this, email me, text me, Instagram me. I thank all of you beautiful souls for your presence here every Sunday. I'm sorry it hasn't been so regular lately, but there's been a number of things going on. And I thank all the community. Oh, Deborah, you were here. Beautiful to have you. Yay. I thank all of the community here, because you might not be seeing each other. And hopefully one day we can get something where we can see each other. But we are together and we're supporting. And there is only love here. And there is only non-judgment. And there is only compassion and acceptance. And we are all on this journey together. So I send love from my heart to yours. From Cape Town to everybody. Thank you, Julie, and everyone. Roxanne, Celeste, Maya, all of those that were here. Deborah, I thank all of you for listening. And I wish you a most blessed week ahead. And like I said, if there's anything you want to know about or even connect and share them, please do that, because it's a beautiful way. Hello, Alicia. Yay. Love to you, darling. So yes, much love to you all, from our healing space to you all, from our spirit guides to you all, and from my heart of the white rose and all of those that came before me. It was Mary of Magdala's feast day the other day, and I connected very strongly with her. So from all of us to all of you, take care, stay safe, and we will be in touch again. Bye.